Good morning, beloveds. Okay, I've had a busy morning. I forgot to check the Sunday service video last night because I did it early enough. It should have been ready last night. I didn't check it early enough, so I got up this morning, checked the video, shared the video to like 3 Facebook pages. Then I created the event for our next soul session, emailed that out. Emailed out a movie invitation to a couple of people, and now I'm doing this, and I still managed to get in a decently long bike ride. So hey, I've had a good, productive Monday morning. Let's hope the day continues. All right, it is November 7th. Our title is My Temple. Our first quote is, Then thy light break forth as the morning, and thy health shall spring forth speedily. And that is Isaiah 58:8. The spiritual person needs no healing. Health is an omnipresent reality, and when the obstructions that hinder healing are removed, it will be found that health was there all the time. And that is Science of Mind, page 203. If we would change the appearance of our bodies from imperfection to glowing good health and beauty, we must release something. That something may be a destructive habit or thought pattern, or thought patterns of fear, anxiety, anger, or guilt. We then must fill the void we have created with a new habit, thinking only thoughts of positiveness, health, and wholeness, and doing what is necessary to stimulate the physical body to respond. Our bodies reflect our inner thoughts. Have you noticed stress lines, aches, and pains that weren't there 6 months or a year ago? Ask yourself what you have been thinking about. Where have you put your faith? By developing an abundant faith and courage through continuous positive thinking, we prevent an accumulation of anger, hatred, resentment that interferes with perfect physical expression. We remove barricades of resistance to change and recognize that the healing power of love is present in every cell of our bodies. Then the law of mind reflects the perfect pattern of wholeness and health back to us. The indwelling presence meets every requirement of every cell in my body. My body is a temple of the Most High. I do not insult or damage this residence of God with too much food, or abusive substances, too little exercise, or negative thinking. My body is a miracle in manifestation. I give thanks for this healthy, trim, energetic, coordinated body. And that is Marilyn Mooney. And honestly, science agrees with her. Science agrees with her from the mind standpoint. I don't know why I took them off. I'm just going to have to put them right back on. That our emotions do have a direct effect on our body. I took the glasses off, so I don't know, but I have these lines across my forehead. There's, and they come and go based on my stress level. I've seen them. I think I started seeing them, I think even back when I was in practitioner training, which I think I graduated. Sharon told me we graduated in 2013. So, and then they went away, and then they came back, and then I went into ministerial school, and they may or may not be back right now. One, because I can't see them. Hey, yay. And two, because, the last couple of years have been interesting. I was an essential worker, because I worked in the health food industry. We were considered essential because we helped people support their immune system and other interesting, things like that. And so, all of this time when people were working from home and I went out and worked with the public, and more to the point, because I work in a health food store. That's how I pay my mortgage. That's where sick people go. And it was incredibly frustrating, when people would call in orders and then somebody would come in and pick them up, and then they would tell us, oh, by the way, the person who just came and picked up that order, they had COVID. And it's like, they didn't think anything of it, but they don't know my health challenges. They don't know if I was susceptible to, but they didn't think about that. Now, fortunately, in all of this time, I did get COVID. I got the Omicron version, and I was miserable for a week, and my hair fell out for 4 months. But because I did take all of the precautions, do I wish I hadn't gotten COVID? Oh God, yes. It was not fun. Do I not want to I don't want to get it again. So I continue to do the things that I need to do. And one of them, among them, she said, I do make sure to keep a positive attitude. For the most part. I mean, everybody has bumps. Everybody has bumps, but I make sure that I manage my mood. I'm not positive 100% of the time. And there's a thing that I see, that positivity is not necessarily, it's not the opposite of negativity. What that is warmth. Because when you meet somebody who is struggling, you don't want to pat them on the back and say, everything's going to get better. What you want to do is say, hey, would you like to talk about it? Do you need a listening heart? And because we don't want it. Positivity is not platitudes. It's like it's empathy, and we want to make sure that we're doing that. And so that's where some of that comes in, and those are things where we can go and help to relieve the stress by listening to people. And I like that she said into the void. So it's like, okay, so we have a not so good habit for us, and we want to work, we need to, and science says you don't break a habit. What you do is you replace a habit. And so into the void of that destructive habit, or into the void of that, replacing those negative mindsets, we've got to focus on something. And so, and that is spiritual practice, where we focus on the source of our own being. We focus on a world that works for everybody. We focus on the love and the kindness and the compassion and all of those things. And we replace that. There are very real material things that we need to do to manage the vehicle that we use to negotiate this material reality. The truth is, no matter what happens to this body, because it is simply a vehicle, the essential part of us cannot be harmed. The essence of us, the spirit of us, the soul of us, that can't be harmed. So no matter what happens to this vehicle, the essential part of you is always safe, always healthy, always, cared for. And it's our responsibility to take care of the material vehicle that we use to interact with the material world. And that does mean that we do have to exercise it a little bit. We have to make sure that we feed it, decently, that we manage those positive moods. There's a body of science about how our mood affects our body. And so that is what we want to work on that. And spiritual practice supports that. And the cool thing is that some of the spiritual practices can be done while you're exercising. I mean, I could bang out some dang good treatments while I was running. So, it's not a spiritual practice. It doesn't have to be sitting lotus position on a pillow staring at a wall. It can look like going for a nice long hike and communing with the source of your own being through the vehicle of nature. And I've just gone all kinds of different directions with this. So my body is my temple. It is my responsibility to maintain that temple to the best of my ability. Notice I just said the best of my ability. There are environmental factors that are going to factor into that. Because these bodies are very well designed machines that we don't really completely understand. I fully get that. I'm having a challenge with this vehicle. And I'm still learning. And I'm using my resources to continue to learn. But I'm working on not letting the challenge that I'm having affect my mood. Okay? Some days it gets to me. Okay. So I just want to make sure, thinking only thoughts of positiveness, health, and wholeness, and doing what is necessary to stimulate the physical body to respond. Okay, so don't beat yourself up when you have those not so positive days. I have them too. And when I catch myself doing it, then I stop, I recommit myself, and I say, I can do better. I can do better. So our bodies reflect our inner thoughts. That's what I see those lines. I see those lines. I'm not worried about that. I also have little crow's feet. It's like, look, I've laughed. I've had a good time. A couple of lines on my face, they are what they are. They show that I have lived. Okay? And like I said, they do come and go based on my stress level. So if they get really deep, well, you might need to check on what Lisa's been up to. Okay. So the law of mind reflects back the perfect pattern of wholeness and health back to us. What we think into mind reflects back to us. So, the indwelling power meets every requirement of every cell in my body. The mission today, I think, is to be aware of that. Every single cell in your body carries all of the information you need, that it needs to completely replicate you. So at any point in this process, what has been damaged can be fixed. But what we want to do is focused on, we want to go back and take a look at the blueprint. Okay? Which is the point of spiritual practice. So the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to remember who holds the blueprint. All right? This vehicle was created by God for us to navigate the material realm. God holds the blueprint. So when things are going a little, go back to your blueprint. Remember who holds the blueprint. Spirit holds the blueprint. Every single cell in your body has that blueprint. Spirit holds that copy. So go back to that. Go back to God's idea of who you are and what you are capable of. And then come back and fill the void of what you want to let go of with what you want it more of in your life. Health, wholeness, happiness, completeness, love, kindness, compassion, joy. Fill the void with that. All right. So you got your mission today. The other one is the spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself. And sometimes that looks like exercise. I know people think exercise is a 4-letter word. I'm not going to count the letters because spelling is not my challenge. Spelling is not one of my gifts. But when I say exercise, people get really funny. It's like, no, go for a walk. That's exercise. So when I say do something to engage your mind and your body, that's one of the things that I've learned working with the trainer is sometimes early in the morning when he knows that I am not awake, he'll give me a specific challenge which I need my mind to engage to my balance, or I'm going to fall on my butt. And so he can wake me up really quick by giving me something that engages my mind and my body. That looks like exercise. He's also big into stretching, and stretching is considered exercise, and it's really good for this vehicle that we run around in. So loving, kind, and compassionate also looks like exercise. Okay. It looks like eating things feeding your body good food. And it also looks like dessert. So don't forget that, but dessert in moderation, good food in moderation, exercise in moderation. There's a balance to life, and we want to walk that balance. It also looks like sleeping, which I haven't been doing, but that's a whole nother story. I did get a good nap yesterday, so there's that. It looks like, making room for joy, self-care, making room for joy, enjoying your life. That is love, kindness, and compassion. That is, and that's practicing that helps to fill that void when we're letting go of other things that haven't served us as well. And so this is a practice you can go to when you have a void or a habit you want to replace. All right. And it is about connecting with the source of your own being and recognizing that, everything you need, you already have within you. Starting with the guidance. So practice. You are the best person to practice on, because you deserve your own love, you deserve your own kindness, you deserve your own compassion. All right. As always, I do encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like. Today it was a bike ride for me. I encourage you to drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important, especially during allergy season when you can hear that congestion right there. When you hear, bright light early in your day, it was very foggy this morning. So the bright light that I've been using has been artificial, but the sun's come out now. So I'm going to go get a little bit of that on my way to work. And that is circadian rhythms. Reset those things. And especially since we're dealing with the time change. Although the fall one's the easier of the two time changes. So, and now it's dark at 5:30, but hey, when I get up in the morning to go for that bike ride, it's not still dark. And I like that. All right. I don't know what I was about to say. So, the words of Ernest Holmes. Open the windows of your soul, allow the breath of heaven to remind you. You do live in heaven right now. Because it is a state of mind. It is a state of consciousness. It is all around us all the time. It is up to us to make up our mind to see it, to practice it, to be a part of it. And we can always take Emma's advice and look for the good and praise it, because there's always some good in any situation, even if the good is us. All right. So you can walk into a chaotic mess and go, there can't be any possible good here. And yet you have walked in and you are the good. Okay. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right. Social media, Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I am the running Rev Ryan. I don't know what I was about to say there. You want to know what's going on with the center? Then email info@creativelife.org. There's a visioning class coming up that should be really interesting. And our November food market, which is the Saturday before Thanksgiving. It's a very busy one, and it's unfortunately the one I can't do because I have another commitment. So y'all definitely step up and help with that. You want to do something that will make you feel good? Go work these food markets. The people that we serve are a blessing to us as much as we are a blessing to them. So it's interesting being told that we are literally answering people's prayers. And I have been told that. So, okay. Email info@creativelife.org. The hot links are hot. And that is what I know. So have a great day, an amazing day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day. Again, getting stuff done early in your day. Hey, the Astros won. So I think there's a parade today. And the election day is tomorrow. So if you didn't early vote, get your act together so that you can go vote tomorrow day. A good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough. Just as you are. You are a beloved child of God. You are a godling, a spirit, a divine spark. You are wondrous and wonderful. Always. So, you know what? Take care of yourself and know that you're loved. So, Reverend David should be at around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you at 9 a.m. I did the Sunday service yesterday. If you didn't get to come see me in person, the Talk Is Up on YouTube. So, or scroll back a couple of videos right here if you want to hear the music. So, all right, beloveds, take care of yourself. Know that you're loved, and I will see you next time.